back to another episode. I'm happy to have you guys here. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share it with your friends. This is going to be a great episode. I'm really looking forward to this. There's going to be a lot of knowledge base in this episode, and we're going to start out with a powerful tool, and that's our cell phones. I'm going to show you some of the basics, just the basics, to get you started on Navionics on your cell phone. This is going to lead into a series that I'm doing to help you guys break down water anywhere in the country to find big bass. Let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is download the app, Navionics. Once you have it downloaded, go ahead and fire it up. And I already got this picked out in the local lake to kind of show you guys some of the stuff, some of the features that's going to help you in the future with helping break down map study. And this is just the basics. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to menu. Scroll down to settings. Go to units and set it to how you want. Mine came metric, but of course I live in the United States, so I want everything in miles per hour, feet, gallons, blah blah blah. Back out of there. Go back to menu. Update your maps is a great idea. And then go to map options. And the first part of the screen you're going to see is chart layers. And sometimes you're going to see stuff that looks like this. Right? Or like this. There's no detail. You know? But if you click on, there's three of them: nautical charts, sonar chart, and U.S. government chart. U.S. government chart has almost no detail to it. Nautical chart has some detail to it, but then you get way more detail, and I find the sonar chart to be much more accurate as well. And so you want to really go to sonar chart, because some places nautical charts won't have any detail at all. Like in bays and stuff like that, you won't have any detail at all. And if you want to choose like an overlay, you can do a satellite overlay, which will fill in the sides of here with a satellite picture from Bing. And that can be useful when we're trying to look for like runoffs and what areas are drainage areas and what areas have fields next to them. You can really kind of get a good understanding of what's going on with that too. That's a good feature to have. So then the real juice is down towards the bottom here. So you have a couple options here. You got different shading options. You can adjust the water level. So if the lake is up 5 feet, you can add 5 feet. If it's down 5 feet, you can down 26 feet, you can take 26 feet off. And that's super useful and handy to help get your mind right when you're in an area. Because if the lake's up 10 or 15 feet, that's really going to change what a point is and how in the depth you're looking. So the next area down, so if you want to shade the shallow areas, you can hit this. So this is a nice tool to have. You can shade the shallow areas as much as you want here. And see how it's shading them in? So that's out to 13 feet. That's pretty deep. So I usually have this set for like 5 feet. You can even take it less than that. So we're taking all the shading away. So there should be no more shading anywhere. So all the shading disappeared. And now we're going to take this to 5. And what it does is it also bumps up your minimum depth shading to 5, because it's shading everything that's 5 feet, which is just this little section right here. Now when I'm looking for points and stuff, you can look at the topo lines, right, of the lake, the relief lines of the lake.
but it's so much easier visually to add some shading, and you go out to like 15 feet, all of a sudden you can start seeing the point that comes out. You can start seeing the ring on the side here. There's a little shelf right around 15 feet. And if you increase that even more, you can see the deeper creek channel that runs out. So this is super useful in finding points, in finding humps. So here we are out by the island. There's a submerged island out here. Now if you take the relief shading away, it doesn't show up at all. But as soon as you add that relief shading, if you're just kind of scanning a lake, you might miss that. And I can't always tell what's a hole and what's a submerged island or a hump. So with this relief shading, if you crank that up a little bit, all of a sudden that pops right out. And that is a thing of interest to me, is that you can see how it comes off with a long point on one side, and it's very distinct. And you can increase it more so you can see other areas that are deeper. So this point out here is a deeper point, and that runs out to 30, 40 feet deep as a point. But it'd be easy to miss that if you didn't have your shading done and you're just scanning a lake. You see there's a little bit of a point, but I like to go out deeper sometimes, especially in the summertime, because then you can see how that point shapes up and comes out. And you can kind of see this bay back here, and you can see that that right here is a hole, old pond or something. So depth shading is critical for map study and learning new water. Very powerful tool, very powerful tool. And you can add or take away depth contours. I have them all. I also have set my sonar density as high to give me as much information as possible, because I want to see it all. I got the community edit set on. I have the active captain community settings on, so you can see all the information that those things give you. And like I said, guys, this video is going to be a short video, and it's just the basics. So we're just going to go. We just went over basically setting up your sonar on sonar charts versus nautical charts. See how you're losing a bunch of detail, and then you hit that and you gain it. That's massive. So remember, set it to sonar charts. You can play around with the different overlays that you want to use on it. But you will definitely want to use the depth shading. That right there is one of the most powerful features, I believe, for helping you dissect map study on water you haven't been on. So guys, I hope this helps you guys out a lot. Any questions you have or any tips you guys might have for other users of Navionics, man, please leave them in the messages here. I love hearing how you guys use it differently than me. I always learn from you guys as you guys learn from me. And like I said, this is just a real quick video going over the basics of Navionics. So do yourself a favor, download Navionics, get it set up the way you want it. Check out the depth shading feature on there so you can find your points, you can find your holes, you can find your creek channels. And I will see you guys out on the water.